My name is Lavie, and I was 20 years old when this happened, July of 2016, the peak of the clown sighting craze that swept across America. Videos of creepy clowns lurking near woods, schools, and parking lots were everywhere. Some people thought it was a joke. Others swore these clowns were dangerous. I didn't believe any of it, until the night I met one. My friend Miguel and I were staying over at our buddy Milo's house. We arrived around 3 p.m., spent the whole afternoon watching movies, stuffing our faces with candy, and talking trash like any college kids would. Milo's house sat right next to a huge public park with old playground equipment and long walking trails. Every time we slept over, we usually wandered around the park late at night. 3 a.m., bored out of our minds after hours of movies, we decided to get some fresh air. The park was pitch black except for a few flickering lamps. The air felt unusually still, as if the entire place was holding its breath. When we entered the park, it was exactly 2:36 a.m. We walked casually at first, talking about girls from school and joking around. But as we rounded the corner near the public restroom building, the atmosphere suddenly shifted. The temperature felt colder. The wind died completely. That's when we saw him. A man, no, a clown, stood beside the old metal swing set, not moving, not blinking, just staring. He wore a black and white clown suit, but no mask. That made everything 10 times worse, because we could see his real face. And God, I wish we hadn't. His skin looked filthy, almost smeared with dirt or ash. His long, greasy black hair hung over half his face, and the smile, his smile, was stretched unnaturally wide, as if carved into his cheeks. Even from afar, we could see the corners of his mouth pulling up toward his ears. His head was tilted slightly to the right, the way animals tilt their heads when they're trying to understand something. Except there was nothing curious in his eyes, only hunger, or hatred, or both. Miguel froze first. I bumped into him before I realized he wasn't moving. "Bro, he's looking at us," Miguel whispered. "No shit," I whispered back. For a few seconds, none of us breathed. The clown didn't wave, didn't laugh, didn't step forward. He just kept that horrifying grin and stared. We slowly backed up until we were on the far side of the park. Then, speaking so quietly we could barely hear ourselves, we agreed to run for Milo's house on the count of 3. 3, 2, 1, run. We sprinted harder than we ever had in our lives, our footsteps slapping the pavement, hearts pounding like they were about to explode. After almost a full minute of running, we reached the street leading to Milo's house. I turned around, not because I wanted to, but because something inside me needed to know if he was still there. And he was, standing at the end of the street under a street lamp, perfectly still, watching us. He hadn't run, he hadn't even walked fast, but somehow he was there. When he slowly lifted his arm, we saw it clearly, a long kitchen knife, glinting under the faint yellow light. We screamed at Milo's door, banging like maniacs until he opened it. All 3 of us rushed inside and locked everything, deadbolts, windows, even the back door, while trying to explain what we saw. Milo thought we were joking until he noticed how pale we were. His house had a smart doorbell camera, so we huddled around the monitor, shaking, barely able to speak. A minute passed, then 2. Then, a shadow moved at the end of the driveway. He stepped into view. The clown slowly walked from one side of the street to the other, scanning the houses like he was hunting, or counting windows. Then he stopped directly in front of Milo's house. I felt Miguel grip my arm so hard his nails dug into my skin. The clown leaned closer to the camera, his face inches from the lens. His smile twitched, his eyes widened, and then he did something that made my blood freeze completely. He licked the camera lens. A long, slow drag at his tongue across the metal casing. We all covered our mouths so he wouldn't hear us scream. After a few more seconds of staring directly into the camera, into us, he stepped back, tilted his head again, and walked away. No running, no rushing, just a slow, deliberate stroll into the darkness. We didn't sleep for the rest of the night, and we never saw him again. To this day, I still wonder